Good morning. It is 6:45 a.m. on Thursday, July 22nd, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So I guess I want to rewatch Jurassic Park. That might feel like it comes out of nowhere, but what I will say is that there is a film podcast called Unspooled with Paul Shearer and Amy Nicholson that I really enjoy. I've been listening to them for a long time, and their latest episode is about Jurassic Park. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I love Jurassic Park, but I have rewatched it before. I do feel like I know it pretty well. I like it, but I don't feel like I need to rewatch it in order to hear people talk about it. And cue me listening to their episode about it for like 15 minutes and then feeling like, no, I want to rewatch it. And so, there you have it. That's the rest of the story. Paul Harvey. Yeah. Do people? A lot of people probably don't know Paul Harvey anymore, huh? Um, in case anyone doesn't know Paul Harvey, which is probably a lot of people, he was a radio guy who did a segment called "The Rest of the Story," where he had a very particular way of speaking, and he frequently would tell stories about, say, a little boy who grew up on a farm and learned that, you know, uh, the lessons that he learned from the farm helped him to become the man he was, and the man he was turned out to be Henry Ford or something like that. And then he would finish with saying, and now you know the rest of the story. And that was Paul Harvey. So there you go. And so he used to be on the radio when I was a kid. I think he died probably when I was like in high school or something like that. But I just remember hearing him on the radio and just the way he used to finish those segments always just kind of stuck with me. And so now you know the rest of that story. Um, yeah. All right. um, Let me think. I'm trying to. I have a number of other movies that I've sort of set for myself as a task. Like, I still have to watch The Goonies and Lethal Weapon in preparation for Mike and I to do Watching 100 Movies, which we hope to record this weekend, and we'll see if we can. So probably I'll watch at least one of those tonight, in addition to wanting to rewatch Jurassic Park. But I'm also just, in the back of my head, I've got some work stuff where, like, if you, for your job, have to write documents or do projects that need to get signed off on by a lot of people, you occasionally will have someone who comes in and makes comments that, like, either you don't agree with or you just feel like are really trivial. Like, they've asked you to make a change that you feel like, well, I mean, I don't know that it's wrong, but is it really important enough to go back and do the work required to make that change? And, it's like, I don't know. I think the struggle, of course, is that many times those changes, like, maybe they do actually make an improvement, and it's just a matter of resisting wanting to have to do more work, you know? Like, so I think sometimes, it's important to kind of check in with yourself to say, like, what is the reaction there? Is it just because, your momentum is interrupted by needing to go back and fix something? And that we all kind of have an instinctual resistance to that? Or, and it's also, so in fairness too, it was also the sort of thing where, like, I, you know, I jumped the gun a little bit. I, I don't know. Never mind. I usually don't talk about work, and that's all for good reasons. None of this is important stuff. It's all going to be fine, and I'm not really complaining so much as that's just what I'm thinking about how I'm going to have to deal with in about an hour, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.